Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another uni video, as you'll be able to tell from the title. So today I thought I would do a video talking about all of the different accommodation options at UEA, which is the University of East Anglia. So this is where I go to university. If you didn't already know, I'm currently in my third and final year at UEA, which is so sad. I've loved every minute of it and I just don't want it to end. But anyway, yeah, I thought that it was a good time of year to kind of talk to you about the different accommodation options, because I know a lot of you are probably getting offers back at the moment. Maybe you've already got all of your offers back and you'll probably be deciding in the next couple of months what uni places you want to take up. And obviously accommodation is quite a big part of choosing where to go to uni. And I know also in the current situation surrounding coronavirus, you may not have been able to visit the accommodation in person for an open day. So I wanted to give you like a really informative video, but also really informal and just kind of chatty. So this is going to be a really chilled video of me just talking through all of the different options that are available to first years at UEA, and hopefully this will make it a bit clearer for you to decide what will work best for you, because there are a lot of different options and some will suit certain people better than others depending on what kind of thing you're looking for, and obviously pricing is slightly different for the different options as well. So it's been a long time. It's been about 3 years, maybe over 3 years, since I did all of this stuff for when I was applying for uni, so I can't remember exactly the ins and outs of how the process works, but I think I applied for accommodation around March, April, but don't hold me to that. I know that it has to be after you accept your place. So I firmed UEA, I got an unconditional from UEA and I firmed that as my first choice. And then I applied for accommodation pretty soon after that. As far as I know, accommodation is not first come first served. I think it's as long as you apply by the deadline, it's kind of random. But it was a bit weird in my flat. I think most of us had received unconditionals, so I don't know whether that had something to do with it, whether if you got an unconditional you were more likely to get your first choice. I'm not sure, but I thought it was a bit of a coincidence that most of the people in my flat also had unconditionals, but maybe it was just random and it just worked out that way. So yeah, don't hold me to any of that, but as far as I know, I think it's meant to be random as long as you apply by the deadline. I also thought I would just mention that it is optional to live in halls. You absolutely don't have to if you really don't want to, but I would highly recommend living in halls. It makes it a million times easier to meet friends. Even if you're from Norwich, like, or around Norfolk, I would still recommend living on campus rather than commuting, because honestly, like, it will just make your uni experience so much better. It's so much easier to meet people and make friends if you're all like living in the same area, but obviously you don't have to. And I think first year accommodation is guaranteed at UEA, but again, don't hold me to that. But I don't know anyone who tried to get accommodation and couldn't. There's so much accommodation at UEA, so I don't think that should be an issue. So I will be chatting through the accommodation options both on campus, and then there's one or a couple of blocks off campus as well. I know it can seem really confusing what accommodation to go for. I know I was drawing up like pros and cons lists and everything. I really had no idea what to go for, and it's even harder in this circumstance where you might not be able to see places in person. So I'm going to include as many photos and videos and information as possible for you guys, and I'll also link all of the 360-degree videos that UEA have created with students. These are so good. These are such valuable videos if you haven't been able to see accommodation in person. Like, honestly, I cannot recommend them enough. So I will link them all in the description down below. They're basically like interactive videos, so they're created by students, and if you watch on a laptop or a computer, then you can use the mouse and you can like scroll around the room, so it actually feels like you are in the room, so you can kind of get more of an idea for space and sizing compared to just looking at photos. So yeah, those will all be linked down below, and without further ado, let's get into the video. So just some general information to start with. So at UEA, we have our kitchens cleaned twice a week, and you also get your bathroom cleaned once a week and your recycling bin taken out. I think this is the same in all the different blocks as far as I know. And yeah, you get a recycling bin given to you in your room, and that is just for recycling. If you put like food and stuff in it, then the cleaners won't take it. So I would recommend buying just a general waste waste bin for your room. I've got a video on my channel listing everything that I would recommend you bring to uni, so I'll also link that down below. But yeah, I would bring a general waste bin for your room because you can't mix recycling and general waste, otherwise they won't take it out. And when the cleaners clean your bathroom, they also like you to take out anything that you can from your room. So take out, like, I don't know, I had like a, don't know what to call it, like a basket kind of thing that had like face wash, face wipes, like stuff like that in. So just take that out and take your shampoo, conditioner and shower gel out, stuff like that, before the cleaners come in. You will be told what day they're coming in. I think mine was a Tuesday, but it probably varies depending on what block of flats you're in. So that is just a general overview of that. Also, when they clean the kitchen, they like the surfaces to be all clear. So if you leave loads of stuff out on the side, like loads of stuff drying on the drying racks, then they might not clean it. So just make sure to move all of your stuff off before the cleaners come in. And the kitchens come with a toaster, and my kitchen, I think it did come with a kettle, but I don't think all of them do, so you might want to check that. And there'll be group chats that you can talk to your future flatmates and kind of arrange like who's going to bring what. But you get all of the general stuff like microwave, ovens, although some have convectional microwave ovens instead, so I will state what flats have that. Obviously you get like fridge, freezers, loads of cupboard space, stuff like that. You also get your Wi-Fi and your bills all included, which is really handy, so you don't have to like pay loads of different amounts to different people like you do in second and third year. So living in halls is so convenient for many different reasons, but the fact that bills are included is really good. And in your room you will all get a desk and a chair and a wardrobe, and some flats have full-length mirrors, some don't, but again I'll state when I talk about each individual accommodation option. All of the halls at UEA are self-catered, which I absolutely loved because I knew that I wanted to go self-catered, so that is also something to bear in mind. I think most people prefer going self-catered in general, but I know a lot of unis also have a catered option, but at UEA it is all self-catered. And there is also a mix of ensuite and shared bathrooms. Most blocks are ensuite, but again I will talk through the different options now. So the first and cheapest option that we have is the standard single campus, and this is obviously on campus, it says in the name, and this is £94.22 a week. So this includes Orwell and Wolfson closed houses, and these are between 5 and 12 people. I've got my notes down here, so sorry if I keep looking down, but there's no way I'm going to remember all of this information. And these are shared bathrooms, you get a single bed, and you get combination convection microwave ovens rather than actual ovens. So yeah, shared bathrooms, obviously that is something that you need to decide if you would rather share a bathroom with someone or have your own one. For me personally, I really wanted an ensuite just because I wasn't sure what kind of people I'd be sharing with, and I'm quite a clean person. Like I get a bit funny if bathrooms and stuff are like dirty, so yeah, I really wanted an ensuite, but I know a lot of people that shared bathrooms and they had no issues whatsoever. And obviously this is the cheapest option, so that's also another factor to bear in mind. Going up an option, the next cheapest is the standard single Ziggurat, and this is £118.09 a week. So the Ziggurats are kind of, I would say, the most famous buildings on UEA campus. They are the kind of pyramid shaped buildings. I'll insert a photo, and they overlook the lake, which is really nice. They're quite old buildings, but they are quite iconic. And you have two blocks as well, so you have Norfolk Terrace and Suffolk Terrace. You can have flats with up to 12 students. You get a single bed, shared kitchen like normal, and you also get a sink in your room because the Ziggurats are shared bathrooms, not ensuite. So because it's shared bathrooms, you do have a little sink in your room, so you can just like brush your teeth in the morning without having to wait for people to come out the bathroom, which is quite handy. And the rooms in the Ziggurats are actually a really good size. I had a couple of friends who were in the Ziggurats in first year, so I visited them, and their rooms are, I would say their rooms are quite a bit bigger than general ensuite on campus. You also get a mirror in your room, and you have a single bed. Most of the bedrooms are single beds on campus. So each flat has shared toilets and bathrooms. Typically you have 2 showers and 3 toilets per flat, so it should be enough so you don't have to wait too long for people to get out the shower if you want to go in. You also have a large kitchen diner, and the kitchens are quite nice to be fair, and they all overlook the lake, so you get a really nice view of the lake. You also get your own designated cupboard in the kitchen, so it will have like your room number or something on, so it's just a space where you can put all of your own little bits if you don't want to share like everything, if you don't want to share all the cupboards. You get convection microwave ovens instead of normal ovens, and the Ziggurats are known for being very, very social spaces. I think they are known for being quite noisy. Obviously it depends like who you have in your flat, but they're also really fun for prees. So if you're quite a lively person and sharing a bathroom doesn't bother you, then I would say the Zigs are quite a good option. And also they're on campus. I don't know if I said that, but yeah, really good location on campus, super easy to get to any buildings for your lectures and stuff, so that's also another plus point. The next option is the standard twin Ziggurat, which at the moment is £158.90 because with like COVID and stuff you get both rooms, so normally that would be split between 2 people, but at the moment I don't think they're letting people share with anyone else, just because obviously like COVID and stuff. So if you want a twin room, then you get the whole thing kind of. So moving on to the ensuite options, first of all we have the standard Ensuite Campus. So this is £158.83 a week. Again on campus, very convenient. You get a single bed and each room has a shower, a toilet and a sink as well. And you can get anywhere from 6 to 13 person flats in like Britain, Coleman, Brown, Paston, Victory House. There's loads of different ones. This is the majority of the accommodation, I would say, is the standard Ensuite Campus. Most of them are 12 person flats, but some of them can be less. Nelson Court and Constable Terrace are also under this option, but they are slightly different in the way they're laid out. So normal ensuite on campus like Paston, Britain and all that stuff, they are flats like normal, like flats all on one level. So you have like the kitchen diner, you have like bedrooms all down the corridor. But Nelson Court and Constable Terrace are slightly different. They're more like flats that go upwards. So you'll have the kitchen on the bottom level. Nelson Court one's actually being done up at the moment, so I don't think anyone's currently in them. So you have the kitchen, really big kitchen on the bottom, you have a couple of rooms I think, and then you have the rest of the rooms going up 2 flights of stairs. So you have like ground floor, first floor, second floor. Nelson Court also like kind of overlook the lake. They're a bit further away than the Zigs, and yeah, some of the bedrooms will overlook the lake as well if you're lucky. It's kind of annoying because you can't choose to have Nelson or Constable, like you just have to put standard Ensuite Campus. So if I could choose, I definitely would go Nelson Court. I don't know what it is. The bedrooms are also really big and it's really close to the LCR. Maybe that's more what it is, to be honest. And prees are also so good in Nelson Court. And I'm quite a party girl, if you haven't already noticed on my channel. So Nelson Court would have been ideal for me. But anyway, you have convection microwave ovens in the kitchen rather than actual ovens again. And you get a hob, you get 2 fridge freezers. Everyone has their own cupboard, again similar to the Zigs, and you also get loads of communal cupboards for like large items if you're all happy to share like saucepans and chopping boards and stuff like that. You get a grill, and you don't get a full length mirror as far as I know, so I would bring one with you because I don't think you get a full length mirror in your room. The next option we have is very similar. So this is the Ensuite Campus Plus. So this is £164.36 a week, and it's located in Nelson Court with flats of 10. So this is very similar to the standard Ensuite Campus, but it's been recently refurbished. You get a single bed, but you get bigger rooms. You get a full-length mirror. You get a really nice kitchen that's kind of more modern, and you have convection ovens with separate microwaves rather than the combination one like you did in the standard. You also get sofa kind of seating areas as well as a table with chairs, and you get more cupboard space and more fridge freezers than in the standard. I don't know if this was an option when I was choosing, because if this was an option I definitely would have gone for that, but I don't remember that being a thing. Maybe it's new. I don't know how recently refurbished it's been, but yeah, that sounds like a really good option to me, to be honest. Next you have Hickling, Barton and Chrome. So these are the most expensive on campus at £170.80 a week, but these are also the newest on campus. So again, a very convenient location. So you get a single bed, the rooms are tiny. I stayed in Hickling, I can't remember if I said that. But yeah, I stayed in Hickling. I really liked it. The rooms are very small, but they're not tiny. Like they are, you've got enough space is what I'm trying to say. Like that it's not brilliant, but you've definitely got enough space. You don't really need much more than that. And if you think about it, you're not actually in your room that much. I feel like I spent more time in the kitchen and like out and walking around and in lectures and stuff than what I did in my room. So yeah, you get a ensuite with a shower, toilet, sink. You also get a full-length mirror in your room, which is really good. It's all very modern. The way they've decorated the rooms is so good. There's so much cupboard space, storage space. So yeah, and also the kitchens in Hicklin, Barton and Crome are so nice. They're massive, so you get like a really big table, loads of chairs, and then you also have a separate seating area, which we didn't really use as much as what we should have done, to be honest. If anyone has a TV, then I would recommend bringing that up, because that would be a really nice thing to all watch TV with your flatmates in the evening. And yeah, as I said, the kitchens are really big. You're never stuck for space. Like, there's plenty of storage. It might vary from flat to flat depending how many people are in it, but in my flat we had 12 people and we had 4 fridge freezers, so plenty of space. We had 2 ovens, 2 microwaves, 2 sets of hobs that had like 4 circles on each one, loads of different cupboards, and we all had our own separate cupboard as well. So space was really good there, but obviously it is a little bit more expensive. There was also rumours that Hicklin isn't super social. Honestly, I think it depends on what flat you get. So my flat, we didn't host loads of prees. Like, there was a lot of us that did like going out. I'd say it was about half and half. Like, half of us would go out every week and then half of us didn't really go out at all. So it depends what flat you get, because then my friend Sam, he had like loads of people that really liked going out. So his flat was quite social and I ended up going to his quite a lot. So I wouldn't necessarily say that Hicklin, Barton and Crome are less social. I think it depends who you have in your flat, and that could depend on anywhere. So that was all of the on-campus accommodation. So now I'm going to move on to talking about the off-campus accommodation. So first we have the Village Ensuite, which is £121.38 a week. So the first difference, obviously, to all the other accommodations is that this is not on campus. It's about a 5-10 minute walk away from campus. It's really not far at all. It pretty much is on campus. Like, you can cross the road and you're there. So again, it is a really good location and it's quite a bit cheaper. So if money is something that you really need to think about, then I don't think this is a bad option at all. So you get 4, 6 or 8 person flats with a shared kitchen diner. So I guess the flats are a little bit smaller than what you tend to get on campus. Flats on campus tend to be more like 10 or 12 people in a flat. Yeah, that's maybe another thing to think about if you want to share with more or less people. But I don't know, I kind of like sharing with a lot of people. Like, there was always something going on. So you get a single bed. You need to bring a desk lamp because I don't think you get one in your room. And the ensuite is more of a like shower pod type thing. I was looking at the video because I don't actually know anyone who lived in the Village, so I've never seen it in person. I've never been inside other than the open day, but that was like 3 years ago. I definitely can't remember what that was like, but on the video it looks like more of a pod. So there is a curtain to go across the shower. You don't get separate cupboards in the kitchen with your room number on, but there is still lots of cupboard space. You have convection, microwave ovens. You also have another option in the Village, which is the Village Ensuite Plus. So this is more modern than the standard Village. It's £143.29 a week. So you get a single bed, which is the same as the general, and it's kind of a similar style to Hicklin and Barton. So it's been done very modern, similar size to Hicklin and Barton. And you also have an ensuite, but again, it's more modern. Same as in the kitchen. You also have a nice like big mirror in the ensuite as well, like that kind of spans the whole wall. You get lots of cupboard space in the kitchen, and you have convection ovens with separate microwaves. And then the final accommodation option is also off campus. This is in the city centre and it's called Pablo, and I believe this opened this year. It's actually managed by a private company called Homes for Students, but apparently you can pick it as an option like normal on the application form. Obviously I didn't have this option because it is so new that it just wasn't a thing when I was applying, so I've not been inside myself. But again, I just looked at the videos that UEA have posted. It's the newest accommodation at £166 a week. Again, all bills are included. You get a slightly bigger bed, so you have a 3/4 size double bed, and it's all done in a very similar style to Hicklin and Barton again. So you get an ensuite, and in the shower, like the shower looks the best out of all of the ones that I've seen, because it's actually like a proper one, like you get a door rather than a curtain to pull across, so it just looks a bit nicer. You have a very, very big kitchen, dining, living room with actual sofas that look really nice. You get ovens, hobs, fridge freezers, microwaves, and there's also, which I thought was really cool, there's also a social space on the top floor, and this has like a big projector in, so you could have like movie nights with people. There's a massive table, so you could have like pre's before you go out, and I just thought this was a really, really nice area. So that's another option to consider, but obviously it being in the city centre, it is quite far away, so to get the bus it takes about 20-25 minutes if you don't get hit with any traffic, so it's not too bad. And obviously at the moment we're having lectures online mostly anyway. Hopefully that changes by the time you guys are coming in September, but that's definitely something to bear in mind, whether it's really important for you to be on campus or whether you're okay with traveling in like potentially every day. So you might want to look at how busy your course is to see like how often you'll end up traveling in and out maybe. So a lot of you might be wondering what the social life is like in all the different accommodation blocks. So it really depends on a flat by flat basis. Like I honestly can't say like, oh, if you're here, your social life's going to be mad, and if you're here, it's going to be really quiet, because it really will depend on who is in your flat. I think generally, like very generally speaking, the Zigs are known for being very social, and the standard Ensuite campus is also very social. I was in Hickling and it was a little bit more on the quiet side, but I just went to my friends' flats all the time. We did have a few pre's, like we hosted Halloween and like my birthday and stuff like that, but we didn't have like as many pre's as what some of my other friends did in the standard Ensuite campus. Yeah, obviously depending on what happens with COVID, like hopefully you'll be able to go to loads of different people's flats anyway, and then you can just like go wherever the party is if that is your kind of thing. Obviously if clubbing's not your thing, then you don't have to do that at all. That's just what I like doing, so I thought I would touch on that. My SD card just ran out of storage, so I'm really sorry if I've changed position. So you apply with a list of preferences, so you'll kind of rank like your first choice to your least favorite choice. Yeah, so I think there's like 7 different options, something like that, and you have to rank like what you would most like and what you would least like. So you won't be guaranteed your first choice. I do know some people who did not get their first choice, but I do also know a lot of people that did. I did get my first choice, luckily. I think kind of everything happens for a reason, and if you don't get your first choice, then it doesn't necessarily mean that your second choice isn't going to be just as good. I feel like it's also worth mentioning that it is possible to change flats. I do know a couple of people who did swap flats. If you're really, really unhappy, then obviously the university doesn't want you to be unhappy. There kind of has to be like a legit reason, like not that you just haven't bothered making an effort with people. Like you need to try with people, and I think like more than 9 times out of 10 you will be absolutely fine, and you'll get on with your flat really well, and you'll have an absolutely amazing time. And I am so jealous of everyone who is going to uni next year, because I genuinely wish that I could do it all over again. But yeah, if you are really unhappy, then it is possible to change if you really, really want to. They also try and put such a mix of people in each flat, which I think is so lovely. So they try and put a mix of people from all different backgrounds, different countries, different courses. So it's really good because you get to experience loads of different cultures and stuff that I, like for one, had never experienced before. I come from a tiny little village, so it was really nice to get to know people from all over the world, and having people on different courses is really nice as well, because then it means you're not spending all your time with one group of people. You make friends from like loads of different groups, and then it means you're not relying on one group to do stuff with all the time. Like if your flatmates are busy, then it means you can still like go out with your course mates, and it's not that they're the same group of people all the time. So I have touched on this, but after you accept your accommodation, then you will be able to find a Facebook group. So if you just search on Facebook, then you'll be able to join like a freshers chat. It'll be like 2021/22. That sounds crazy. So you'll be able to join that group, and then people just kind of start posting like what block they're in and then what flat they're in. So you'll just like end up finding everyone in your flat, and then you can create a group chat and everyone can start getting to know each other. You can add each other's socials and stuff like that, so it doesn't seem as scary then when you actually move in. I'm editing this at the moment, but I just thought that I really wanted to say that although it can seem like a really daunting process choosing the accommodation, at the end of the day, like, you're not really there for that long. Like in the accommodation, you have like 4 weeks at Christmas, 4 weeks at Easter. You're not really there a great deal. So if you don't end up getting your first choice, please don't be disheartened, because at the end of the day, it's the people that make your uni experience, not the place. And it can seem like a really difficult decision, but try not to overthink it, because you will have such an amazing time no matter where you end up. And that is pretty much it for this video. So there's a lot of different things to consider when you're choosing your accommodation. So whether you want an ensuite or a shared bathroom, whether you want to be on campus or off campus, or also pricing. And I know it can be really stressful choosing, so I hope that this has made it a bit clearer for you to see your different options. And as I said at the start of the video, I will link all of the videos that UEA have made showing the accommodation in the 360 degrees videos down below. Definitely watch them if you can. And yeah, I hope you found this video helpful and useful. Please remember to like and subscribe if you are enjoying my videos, and go follow my socials as well, as sometimes I do little quizzes, and like I'll ask for questions for Q&As and stuff on my Instagram, so go and follow that. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next one. Bye.